What's your name?
My name's John Sue with Indigenous Innovations.
I'm Kathy Shimizu.
And what do you do?
I work with Powell Street Festival and We Press and Downtown Eastside Response.
The question is, like in general, with this COVID has no vaccine yet. Yeah, people are still moving around we're still moving around the downtown east side, living our lives. St. Paul's, the ER is empty, and there are no cases down here. What's your take on the COVID?
Yeah, from what I've seen is I barely heard anyone's got it. There's been one case reported, but people's lives here have been drastically changed. Like getting people the services that they need, especially for what we do. We do healthcare. We need to see people, and if you can't see people, how can we help them? So it's been making our job harder, and we're working twice as hard. And it's people like myself and you guys who are kind of out here working harder. And really, you look at this population, there's not much cases here. It's more international, right?
I'm worried for folks because I think that one of the things is that we're not really sure, what's going to happen. And what could happen is that there's people that don't have symptoms that do have it, but when people get it, we think they're going to get it really badly. And so what could be maybe happening is that it's around, but I think part of the issues that people down here are facing so many other issues that they're either they need to get food. There's probably been more overdose deaths than COVID-related deaths, and so I'm not sure everybody has a good handle on how the virus spreads, and people have been trying to do the best they can, but I think it could happen quickly is the problem. So as it comes in, it stays pretty low, but the whole point is when it hits, it's going to go spike up, and that's when the hospital gets full. So I think that's what people are actually really worried about, but everybody knows in the neighborhood there's also so many other issues they're facing.
Where is everyone, man? And our street people used to, like I say, used to go to SROs to socialize, to drink and stuff. Where are they? Like with these restrictions, man, where do these people go? What have you seen?
Like what I've seen is people are just falling through the cracks. They're less out to get the services that they need, and they just kind of self-isolate or go back to kind of their bad habits, drugs, alcohol, or whatever. Right? The streets aren't any busier, and yeah, they're dead, and kind of everyone's just hiding and trying to get basic stuff that they can't get no more easily.
Yeah, I think that this has really put a sharp focus on the fact that the inequity that's in our neighborhood and in our society, that we really have to take a hard look at what we're doing. People should be housed, and then they could self-isolate. They should have their own bathrooms and a place where they can cook, their own kitchen. Each person should have a roof over their head, and if that were the case, we could manage the COVID emergency a lot better. And I think this is a chance for all of us to make change, that we realize how each of us can be really in a precarious situation. We could lose our jobs. Suddenly we don't know if we're going to be able to pay rent. We don't, and that's the daily life of so many people down here, right, in the downtown east side. And so I think it's a good chance to say everybody needs a safety net. Everybody should have a proper amount of food to eat each day and a roof over their heads. And that's just basic necessities for everybody. And so now that the virus has hit and everybody's kind of has a chance to think about that, I'm hoping that we're starting to build the community that we've been all working on, especially Aboriginal Front Door. You guys have been out here and doing all this amazing work, and really we have to, we're all in this together, and we gotta work on how to make it sustainable where everybody can get a good meal every day, 3 meals a day, and a roof over their heads, and proper needs to meet their different issues that they're facing, mental health and addiction, and all the other issues people are facing.
What as a frontline community do we do? Do we adapt, and how do we make this place a better place with the COVID crisis in effect?
Yeah, what I think is a more reasonable approach and more not a general solution. One, everybody's got to do something, right? Because if you look at down here, there's less cases. So why are we locking down and then we're hurting the community, right? In a population that doesn't have many cases, it doesn't make sense to change their lives or to self-isolate because it's not down here as much, right? And everyone talks about being scared and, we got to reduce the risk. Well, you got to look at also the statistics. There's been one case reported. If you go to regular communities, there's way more people infected. So it doesn't make sense to hurt the most people who need it the most in the most vulnerable community and making an already overworked social system work twice as hard, right? It's just harder on this community, and that solution doesn't make sense to me.
You think it's getting better or worse?
Right now, it feels like it's getting worse. I think for the downtown east side, there are so many. It was a crisis before COVID, and this has just exacerbated it. Not enough spaces being open, not enough places to go to the bathroom, not enough places to get proper drinking water, not enough food for everybody. So this week, we had check week. So again, you get a little bit of relief, and then you see. But then each week after that, it gets worse and worse. And so right now, people are rallying. It's been amazing. There is there's free food coming, mostly through. The government's done some, but there's just not enough. So we're counting on donations. But as people have less to offer, I think it's going to get harder and harder. We really need governments to step up and commit and to what's happening down here and support the community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right on.
Is that okay?
Any other thoughts on this whole situation?
Like, my personal thoughts are, you see how society responds to, I guess, the lower income or the less fortunate. The ones that we should help the most are getting the less support. And actually what we're doing is hurting the people we've been trying to help. And the people who are in control of things are worrying about, I guess we'll call the richer people, right? But then look at who they're hurting and falling between the cracks. And this is like a systemic system, right? The people who care don't care about people down here. Like, if you want to be honest, right? And it's just people like me and you who know and care. We make the effort.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thanks.